Hi everybody, Karin Gagliano from PrimeLending. There are some things that I need an expert to help answer some questions. So here with me today is Kathy Cook from Howard Hanna. As much as we want to take care of our buyers and our borrowers, I think it's important to educate as well. So for you, what are some of the most important things that you think buyers should consider?
When it comes to picking out a property, you want to emphasize on the location because that's going to determine long-term value of whether or not, if you want to sell in the future, if you're going to make any sort of profit.
Right.
What are your long-term needs? Are you staying there forever, or are you
Selling it in a few years.
Right.
Right, and what happens then? You want to make sure that, this is it's an investment at the end of the day, right? I know a lot of people are out there and there's multiple offers, right? Like everybody is like, I want that house, I want that house, I want that house.
Very competitive.
How do you feel about negotiations during that time?
What you would start with is usually the purchase offer. That's the one that people usually emphasize on. So purchase offer is one, but there's also the inspection. There's the appraisal, personal property, final walkthrough. Those are all steps throughout the start to finish
So it's not
transaction.
just negotiating the purchase price.
Right. Yes, there's so many other layers to it throughout the start to finish that you have room to negotiate. And then as an agent, your agent that you pick out should be a master at negotiating all of those different steps.
Yep, I know, it's really important too, because not a lot of people know what goes in and what's involved in negotiating, and I actually just thought it was the price.
Yeah, and then even there's certain properties, like what you said, that are so competitive that you shouldn't emphasize on the purchase price quite as much because you already know you're going to go over asking.
Right.
You kind of have to accept the fact that if you want this house, you have to kind of fit the seller's needs and wants a little bit more than your own.
Right.
But then there's room in other categories throughout the transaction that you could renegotiate. And you have to keep that in mind when we're going through this whole transaction.
Now, going off of that, like you had mentioned inspection, is it important to you to get an inspection or to waive it?
So I never recommend waiving. I always recommend an inspection. And the reason is because A, peace of mind, and B, because as an agent, as a buyer, there's things that we can't see with our naked eye. And the inspector is trained to be able to see the electric, to see the plumbing and the foundation of the property, and to help determine, hey, this is going to cost you a lot in the future.
Right.
Wouldn't you want to know that before going through the final transaction so that your agent could renegotiate those things for you and advocate for you to help save you that kind of money for the future?
To have a professional that knows what they're doing, and to find one that you feel like you're comfortable with, that you know, you like, and that they are going to bat for you, because there are so many factors that I think come into play that you don't want to make. This is a huge decision, and you want it to be a very sound one too, right?
Yeah, you want someone to advocate for you that knows this business.
Yeah, much. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to you helping out future borrowers and buyers and doing transactions together.